Po, 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 po. Po, 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 po. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Glory Days here on the end of the semi-final day, day 8 here at the 4th CMAS World Age Group Underwater Hockey Championships. Joining me on the Glory Days, coming back to relive the Glory Days, I have Thomas Detrabon from France. Tom, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, Nick. I'm very happy to be there, and I think this talking in a strange appearance, it will be very good fun.
And we obviously have next to him the captain, Meezy's little boom boom coming back for the Glory Days.
Reliving the glory days when I was captain.
And Stu, I don't know what you did, but you've gone out, you've caught a squid, and you've skinned a raccoon and got yourself a lumberjack beard.
What can I say? But when I want to generate a beard, I can get some serious facial raccoonery going. So I've just been feeding my beard with this squid, or maybe it's a bit of A, a bit of B, but either way, I think I'm looking pretty good.
It has got a bit of ranger tinge to it.
Yeah, you've definitely put the pressure on Jordan Fryer there with the smackdown of the beard there. So, guys, I want to have a quick recap on what's been a massive day of underwater hockey here. We had the 5th v6 playoffs this morning, which, Tom, obviously becoming very important. With the more countries we get involved, where you finish for the next Worlds becomes very important.
Definitely, it's starting to be something very important. We've been working for years and years, and now we succeed. We've got a real world for elite, and we've got a real double world, I will say, for kids. I mean, kids. They're not kids anymore, but they grow up and they will show us the way, maybe.
Yeah, no, it's excellent. I'm definitely going to be schooled by them very soon. I think the way that goes games were breaking down this afternoon. That was some fast hockey. So this morning we had USA getting up over Great Britain 3-0 in the women's 5th, 6th place. The day that I saw a US team beat a GB team, Jace, I thought was a long way away.
Yeah, well, unfortunately I didn't get to see that game because I was still on a plane, but yeah, that's a great result for those guys to come back and beat GB.
And then, Stu, in the men's 19, the South Africa-Colombia game this morning was an absolute ripper with South Africa getting up there 4-3 over the young Colombian boys.
Yeah, it was a tight match, and the refs got involved in that game because they needed to. In my opinion, it was well refereed, tightly refereed, very fast, physical game by both teams, and unfortunately for the Colombian lads, they were just a little bit at the end of it, outmatched. But to put it into perspective, the South Africans won that within inside 2 minutes to go, so it was a very tight game.
Yeah, and then the next one, Tom, the French ladies, the under-23s against the Australian under-23 ladies, with Sarah Cuvier going head-to-head with Hannah Robertisso. This was one of 3 games today that went to golden goal, extra time, with the French coming up 4-3 with a victory to secure 5th place.
Yeah, that was a very massive game from everybody who say. They say the Australians were favorite. They are coming from very far, and finally they succeed. They find out in their own spirit to go and to beat the Aussie at home. It's wonderful, I would say.
Yeah, no, it was a great performance by both teams in that one there.
Could have gone either way, that game.
Absolutely could have gone either way.
Both teams
like
did
another Australian-France game that you guys obviously would all remember very fondly, but we've stirred Tom about that once already tonight, so we'll let that one go.
Yeah, definitely. I always say it's always a pleasure to meet different country and to meet the best country, the people who have been our leader for long years, and when you start beating them, it's good.
Yeah, I can imagine. The Australians getting up 2-0 over the GB 23 boys to secure 5th place there, so well done to the young Aussie boys to come back today and pull that one out. Then we got into the semis proper for securing spots in what is, a World Championship Grand Final is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for most people, but especially to try and get into one and play it in your home country, and for some of these girls in their home city. So a few of the Australian girls this morning getting up over the defending world champs South Africa in a 1-0 victory there, Stu.
Who was it again?
Women's 19s, our Australian
Our
women's
Aussies
19s.
versus South Africa, yeah. And the Saffers were the defending world champs?
Defending world champs in the women's 19s.
Yeah, amazing game. I think I was calling the other game at the time, which is why my memory was a little bit rusty.
Well, that's interesting because there was only one game on in
the semi-finals, only one game up.
Obviously, I'm just the old early age Alzheimer's is just kicking in. Amazing game. Those Australian ladies certainly definitely deserved that win against a very hard-fought South African competitors. And like interestingly enough, it just goes to show just how much the quality and the intensity of the hockey across the nations can vary. You know, world championship to world championship. I think the Australians, it's been maybe 1 or 2 world championships since we've had an under-19 team. Is that right?
Yeah, this is our third time we've had an under-19 girls team at a tournament like this. So.
Yeah, and certainly not knocking off the world championships of the tournament before. So well done to the Aussie girls for an amazing victory over some quality opposition.
Yeah, and a lot of local Mugs and down south in WA girls in that team. So a big spread of geography and a good show for them.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of girls from the southwest and that, and play with them regularly. And yeah, their growth has been unbelievable. From that first Worlds they went to in Spain to now, it's amazing to see how much they've improved over that 2-year period.
And that's definitely what the Junior World started out as. Tom was trying to grow the sport and get more people involved and build the ranks to make a better elite tournament. But we've actually managed to turn the Junior Worlds now into a super competitive event.
That's true. That's a main event for everybody. Now everybody wants to be there. And when we bring the World Championship in Tasmania, say maybe it will be too far. Many countries won't come. And today with 34 teams, so it's massive. It's like when we were playing 30 years ago, we didn't have maybe 6 teams, 10 teams. It's nothing. And now that's the world is growing and is growing well from what we can see now.
Yeah, no, it's all coming together. In the other semi-final there, the New Zealand girls putting in a dominant performance over Colombia, taking that one 5-0, which sets up midday tomorrow. The women's under-19s grand final is a New Zealand versus Australia, the battle of the Trans-Tasman there. Tips for that game, Thomas?
I'm the president of the world, I cannot say.
I don't need to ask you two who you'll be barracking for tomorrow. And, yeah, let's hope the Australian girls can pull something out. But the Kiwi girls definitely been fairly dominant this tournament, and it'll be interesting to see how that one breaks down. Australia finishing ahead of them in the ladder rankings and the round robin, so it's going to be a great game there. We then move into the men's 19s. The Great Britain team, and I never thought I'd be saying this, a Great Britain under-19 men's team getting over a Kiwi under-19 men's team, Thomas.
Yeah, that's huge. What I can say else, it's huge.
So the rest of the world starting to catch up to that Kiwi junior development there, Jace?
Oh, it's a great result for the English team to have a team so young and into a final. It shows great development from those guys.
And then in the other semi there, Stu, France versus Australia, the French team just too strong, 2-0 over the Aussie boys.
Yeah, they were, unfortunately. Full credit to both those teams. A really good match. 2-0, obviously not much of a difference, but the Frenchies really bringing it home when it mattered.
And Thomas, Paul and his French boys playing a very tight structure there and getting that game done. It'll be interesting to see how they come in tomorrow with the battle across the channel. So the under-19 girls, we've got the Trans-Tasman, and then in under-19 boys, it's the channel battle with Great Britain taking on France in a men's under-19 grand final.
Yeah, it's looked like a good old days between the French and the English 30 years ago. So now the kids are doing the same, so it's going to be for sure a great game. I would say in the round robin it was equal game, 0-0 I think. So today someone is going to score, tomorrow I mean. So very interesting to watch.
And Stu, the goal machine, women's New Zealand under 23, they're getting ahead 4-0. Obviously, a few of your favourite players in that one, and them sealing that victory there. But the second of those was an absolute nail biter. It was the South Africans against Colombia, and a 2-1 victory to the defending world champs Colombia there, Jace.
That was another great game. Like, could have gone either way. Like, back and throw, kick outs, had everything that game. And yeah, it's a shame there was a loser, but unfortunately, someone has to progress to the grand final and someone has to play for third and fourth.
And it was really end-to-end hockey, Tom, which is great to see in this junior competition. The team's making the most of these massive courts here in Hobart.
Yeah, what is so great is in the previous day we had one country dominate the world, and all the other country they tried just to eat the small part of the cake. But now all the country they want to eat the cake and they're here to eat it. And that's great. We've got final with so many different countries. I mean, there's no more one leader. It's nice.
Yeah, no, and it's now a massive cake. And it's a long way to go around, but sadly, as Jay said, there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser, and it's the people that want the cake the most that are getting it, Tom.
Yeah, the people with the most hungry, they get the cake, and from today, I see that from my point of view, the French boys were very hungry.
Yeah, so then we skip through to the men's 23, and we can start with that game there, Tom. The French boys putting in a very strong performance there, a 4-1 victory over what at the start of the tournament we all tipped as the form team in the Kiwis.
Yeah, the game is the game. I think when in the round robin you beat someone too much, too easily, like 5-1 or I don't know what was the score, but they roll over the French. So basically in your head you still think you're much better than the other one. But maybe the other one he has some secret pocket, secret French trick, I would say. And it works. And maybe they were not ready, or maybe they underestimate the power of the French. They came back and as we see, and we always know, if you want it, you should win. I mean, when you want it, you win. Okay, sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, but it's often the way, though, when it gets to this high level and the teams are that close to it. It's just the team with that bit more conviction and that wants it a little bit more on the day that comes away with a win.
Yeah, that's right. A little bit of je ne sais quoi, shall we say, Thomas.
As
Je ne sais quoi. Oh, voici
Remy comes
Monsieur
crawling.
Remy doesn't want to talk to us. He's too busy to doing this stupid French move.
I thought that was Enzo from the Grand Blue.
As the weasel sneaks out from behind the couch there.
Cat weasel.
So then in the other game there, another hotly contested game, Stu. The Turkish and the Colombians going toe-to-toe there for 30 minutes for only 2 goals, and it's a 2-0 win to the Turkish in what was an epic battle of David versus Goliath.
Yeah, look, the Turkey guys, they were contested in that game, the whole game by the Colombian lads, and credit to both those teams for really putting in a lot of hard yards, obviously through the tournament and all the way into that final game they played against each other. Unfortunately for the Colombians, the Turkish lads are getting up in that one by 2 goals. But credit to both those teams for a really hard-fought game. I mean, that game was end-to-end, not all the time. The Turkish had a lot of the attack. The Colombians did a lot of defending. But it was very, very hard, very strong, very aggressive hockey the whole 30 minutes. So well done to Turkey for a very deserved win.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They put in a pretty dominant performance in the end, managing to keep the Colombians out for that whole game. So let's have a look at the games for tomorrow, guys, because that's obviously what everyone was excited about, is what's happening in the grand finals and then, of course, the party afterwards. We've got 6 of the 10 countries being represented tomorrow in both the bronze medals and the grand final games. And with the grand final games, we've there got the New Zealanders, the Australians, Great Britain, France, Turkey and Colombia all coming through with a chance there. So fantastic to see such a representations from all countries. And like in Castellon last year, we could find ourselves with 4 different countries coming away with a gold medal tomorrow, Tom.
I hope not 4, of course, but we'll see. But that will be very interesting. Very, very interesting.
So looking at the grand finals, the first we've got the women's game, New Zealand versus Australia. We already got a tip from you guys there that obviously the Aussie boys will get up. The France GB game, I don't need to ask Tom who's going to win that one, but Aussie girls,
everybody knows.
Aussie girls. So the men's under-19s, GB versus France, a tip from that side of the couch?
I'm going to go the French on that one.
Jace?
I might actually go GB.
Yeah, we got a split decision there. I've been watching both teams closely. I think the banter from the GB boys has been better. They've got the spray tans. You got a player that's dating the coach's daughter.
They got spray tans.
Yeah,
France.
Don't forget the French trick.
So I think that's going to be a close one for me. But I'm picking GB in a 2-1 game in what was a 0-0 draw in the round robin game. So that's going to be an absolute cracker. We then move into the women's 23, New Zealand against Colombia there, Stu. The defending world champions, Colombia, up against a very tightly drilled Emma Ray women's 23s from NZ.
Yeah, as much as I like the Kiwi ladies, and I've been liking how they've been playing all tournament, we all know that I've got to say Colombia in this one, so Colombia's going to win that one by 2 goals.
Jace?
I think New Zealand will take that out. They've been the form team throughout the comp, so I think they'll get it done.
And then we move into the men's 23s where we've got a Turkey versus France game going on there. That is going to be a real battle of the strength, and it'll be interesting to see which team decides to do what in a structure from both teams that has mixed around a lot during the comp. They've both played a few different structures and a few different styles. So tips there, Tomo?
No idea. I mean, it's going to be very difficult. I couldn't see the Turkish playing. I arrived too late. But from the result, I think they're very strong. From the surface, I saw them playing. They're very strong, very fit. I saw them playing against Colombian boys. They're strong, but the French are not dead yet. So.
No. Jace, tip from you?
Another hard one, mate. I think this game could go either way. I'm gonna go. This is my roughie. I'm gonna go France.
What was the result in the round robin against those two teams?
Turkey got up 2-1 in the round robin against France in what was a nail-biter on the first day of the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I have definitely liked the way the Turks have been playing this tournament, and since they stopped getting sent into the sin bin so much, they've really been a lot more consistent than I've seen them play in the past. Mind you, the French have basically been, for me, the big surprise. I was not expecting them to beat the Kiwis. The Kiwis being one of the 2 top teams, in my opinion, through some serious facial rancoonery, and obviously there's leadership and command presence from that dude that's just going to permeate across the team for the Frenchies. And, yeah, I mean, no more needs to be said.
Well, look, thanks for joining me on the couch for the Glory Days tonight, boys. We'll have a quick Glory Moments tomorrow just to check the pools all up and running and ready to go. Massive day of finals. We will be finishing up with the medal ceremony, which is going to be here at the pool, and will also be live streamed. And we might get some cheeky commentary over the top of that, just to keep the viewers at home engaged, Tom. And that's been one of our big things about this tournament, is trying to get people engaged with it. So I've jotted down a few stats here that I wanted to hit you with. The GoFundMe is now at $4,871 with 82 people donating. It's a tight-fought battle for highest donation between Hydro Underwater Hockey and Graham Henderson there, with Hydro sitting at $556 and Graham Henderson sitting at $555. And Graham's actually arriving tomorrow as the Australian Underwater Federation president, so we'll get him on the couch and we'll get his opinion on that one. We've had over 400,000 engagements on the Facebook page with a reach of over 194,000 people. 85,000 views on the YouTube channel for 819,459 minutes of watching, which equates to, if you sat down, Tom, which you do a lot and watch hockey, 1 year and 203 days. Do you think Marie would let you watch 1 year and 203 days worth of hockey?
I would not have the courage to do that.
So look, it's been a great promo for the sport so far, and we look forward to seeing what happens tomorrow in the final days. Picks for moment of the day tomorrow, Stu. What's going to make the day?
Very good question. I am going to say, is it Aya Efekan I?
Yeah, the number 4,
Number 4
Efekan
for
from Turkey, the goal machine.
He's going to get a big-ass breakaway. That's moment number 1. I'm going to tip Paris Henare in the Kiwi Under-23 team. Massive breakaway from her. Maybe with a very nice goal combo from Georgia, the captain of the Kiwi Under-23s. And obviously, like Stewie, the inflatable frog that's been sported around by the under-23 ladies in the little cart. He's going to be floating around and just sort of keeping it real. Maybe even a little, I don't know, like cameo appearance from Andrew, the lumberjack.
I think you might just get his mug on the TV there just for...
I reckon he's going to do some serious barracking tomorrow, with a hangover probably, but yeah, he'll be amongst it.
All right, well, the other addition we're going to make tomorrow, Tomar, is we're throwing a few more cameras in the mix. So now, obviously, with Court 2 being broken down, we've increased it to 5 underwater cameras across the far side. So we've got the centre split, the 2 down-the-wall cameras, and each corner camera. We've got our broadcast camera up in the stands there. We're actually going to add in 2 dip cameras. So there'll be a camera at each end of the court, which will be going in above the goals, being held by an operator to get some breakaway action and also pick up some of that far side wall play. So we should get full court coverage, giving us the option tomorrow of running, I think, 16 cameras if we want. But we're probably just going to keep it to about 12 or 14, and it should be a really, really good vision for everyone.
I hope. See lots of effort. I hope the pool will be very clean. We're going to clean the pool as usual. Try to have the best video with you to see. Sorry, I keep going in French. Oui, donc ça va être super. Demain, ils ont mis 14-16 caméras. On peut même aller jusqu'à 19 caméras. Tout va être fait en place pour que ça soit parfait. On peut leur faire confiance. Tout est très bien maintenant. Everything is very good so far. Keep going like this.
Thanks, Thomas. Okay, well, allez, la France. Viva la France. Vamos, Colombia. Have a crack out there. Go, mate. Go.
Bring on the
Get
glory
one up
days.
your Australia.
Yeah.
Bring on the glory days.
And let's get amongst it tomorrow. Good luck to all the teams in the finals, and we'll join you tomorrow morning for some glory moments.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Au revoir.